We have an extra special interview for you today. We have our most dedicated trailblazer. She's been at the race since 2018. If she hasn't done every 15-kilometre race we've run, she's been there as a volunteer with a broken leg, no less. She's my favourite running septuagenarian. It would be the one, the only, Tamworth's fabulous local running legend, Maureen Baldwin. You're going to love this interview. The time went so quick. She's very entertaining and you can learn a lot from this lady. So have a listen. Look forward to talking to you after. Alrighty, Trailblazers, we've got a special treat for you today. We're interviewing Trailblazer royalty, young Maureen Baldwin. Who we'll find out how many Trailblazers she's done. I actually have not done the research on that, so we will find out from you shortly. But thanks for coming tonight.
It's a pleasure.
And having a chat. All righty. So some of these questions were actually also given to me by people that wanted to know a bit about you.
Okay.
Because for those that aren't familiar with Trailblazer, 15K run through the hills and jungles of Tamworth, Australia. There's a lot of people that see you in these hills all the time and they go, who was that masked woman? Where did she come from and where has she been? So first up, where did you grow up as a young tacker?
Okay. I grew up in a small village called Binnigai, which is between Warriolga and Maureen.
Right.
I was a very, very bad asthmatic and had bronchitis. So I certainly didn't run, but when I was about 10, my parents took me to a very progressive doctor that said exercise.
Right.
But not running because I couldn't run.
Right.
So I started tennis. We had to build our own tennis court because we didn't have much money.
So was this on a farm or in town?
In the village.
In the village, right.
Village. And we built an ant nest court.
Right.
Went out at night when the ants were in bed and took the top off their nests.
Yeah, right.
I was the one who wanted to play all the time. So I had to mark the tennis court with an old teapot. And then, because then people would play with me.
Yeah, right.
And I played a lot of tennis and I loved it. I could never run.
But you could play tennis.
I could play tennis because you were just doing small moves in one go.
Right.
And I get my breath back.
Yeah, okay. And when you say you marked it with a teapot, you mean you poured tea on the ground or water on the ground?
No, I got went over it. You put a fishing line from one spot to the other.
Okay, to get a straight line.
To get a straight line.
Uh-huh.
Then you go over it in water.
Yeah.
Just through a teapot.
Yeah.
Then you'd mix lime and water in a teapot and go over it again.
Oh. And how long would that last you if you were lucky?
If it didn't rain, it'd last a few weeks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there we go. We've learned something tonight, everybody. That's not cool. Oh, yeah. So you were pretty handy at tennis. I mean, you obviously enjoyed it. And that improved your fitness. Like that got your breathing better?
It did kind of. And I was good at tennis. I was playing in the A-grade teams when I was 18.
Wow.
But then you get married and have two asthmatic children because they have two asthmatic parents.
Did you encourage them to go down the tennis route or was there other things that happened along the way?
I tried, but they weren't really interested. They did other sports.
I feel your pain. None of my kids run. It's
annoying.
It's a sad day. It is very annoying, actually. So that brings me to, okay, you started with tennis from about the age of 10.
Yes.
Where did running feature? When did that come into your life?
Okay, when the kids grew up a bit, my asthma was getting bad again.
Right.
So I decided, okay, I went to a heart specialist, plus they threw AF in at me. And they said, exercise. And he said, hard. So I thought, the best hard place I know is climbing up that stuff.
So off you went. Now, how old were you when this happened? Roughly.
Well, I was nearly 79. I'd go about 15 years ago. But I was always walking somewhere.
Right.
But when it got worse and the doctor said exercise hard, when I first started walking up there is one funny story.
You go on.
I had to go to as far as the nest and stop.
Right.
And there used to be an old stool there, and I'd lie down on that for 2 minutes exactly. But one day, a poor gentleman came past, and he didn't he thought I was dead. He really did. When I heard him, I stood up and he was so startled. And it went further down. Suzanne's always miles ahead. And he said, your mother was dead.
So this is your daughter was, yeah, right. Okay. So she knew you were having your 2 minute, like, slow down?
Yeah. Because I always have to walk at my pace because I can't walk and talk because I need all my oxygen for walking.
Right. So you were in your 60s then, roughly? Or?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Righty. So you scared the bejeebers out of this bloke rising from the dead. So have you seen him up there since, or do you think we've warned him off for life, you know?
Yeah, no, because he was so quick and took off. And I thought, why is this poor guy so flustered? Then I knew why when Suzanne came back and told me.
Oh, that is gold. Oh, that is great. Maureen, another Flagstaff folly story. So basically, through a medical need, you got involved in hiking and running and going up the hill. Okay, right. Was there anybody else in the family? I mean, you mentioned your daughter. Was she already into that, or did you have to drag her up there?
Oh, no. She was sort of into it. She was fit because she played a lot of netball.
Right.
She was tall and couldn't go.
Yeah.
Even though she had asthma, they'd leave me for dead. And she was in it. I think she came because she thought I'd get lost.
Right. Yeah. She didn't want to get blamed for losing her mother on the trails. Okay, fair enough. Because she's done quite a lot of the training with you at times, hasn't she?
She has, but she's damaged today, so she's out for a few while.
Oh, shame. Poor thing. So you're still going?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Do you still play a bit of tennis to this day or not really?
No, we tried about a month or two ago with the grandkids.
Okay.
And I actually moved on the court.
Right.
Yeah. Other things came in. You know, you get on with kids' sport,
Yeah.
umpiring, roofing, all that jazz.
Maybe hang out there for great grandkiddies, maybe, or something.
Yes.
You know, the next generation. So what is it about the running and the hiking through the trails that just keeps you coming back? What is it that gets you?
Well, I thoroughly enjoy it.
Mhm.
And I like a hard challenge. And it is hard for me. I mean, the real athletes, it's not hard for, but it is hard. I enjoy it. And during the Trailblazer, I like it so much because it's so well marked.
Right, yeah.
If you ask any of my family, I can get lost walking around in a circle. And honestly, I cannot get lost doing Trailblazer.
I hate to say it, Maureen, but we have a few people that have come off the course from time to time. But yeah, it's some people do manage to amaze us. But yeah, it is pretty well marked, I have to say.
It's very well marked. And everyone is so friendly. And because I was so naive, I just thought you walk.
Sure.
I didn't know anything about technique or anything. It's given me so many hints. I've been told how to breathe properly. I've been told how to walk down hills better. And I've even been advised to take more than a couple of jelly lollies.
Yes. You've learned a bit about nutrition over the years. Yeah.
And come and go, I learned something new. And I thought, well, by the time I turn 100, I'll be finished.
Now, roughly how old are you? We should ask the elephant in the room.
79.
You're 79.
In May.
In May.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did want to do it for my 80th, but apparently my family said that I said I wasn't going to do it this year. But I don't remember. And I kind of think, well, if I don't remember, it can't be a valid point.
Yeah, I'd say so. I reckon they may be just trying to get you out of it, you know, or they're trying to get out of it, maybe one or the other, you know. Right, so besides scaring the bejeebers out of a bloke by rising from the dead, are there any other stories you can tell us that tickle your fancy a bit?
Well, in a training about a couple of years ago, I had done practically the whole course, only the bit you're allowed to do, of course.
Sure.
And then I decided to do another loop. Right. And I had passed that loop twice. And this time, the wasps, paper wasps,
Ooh.
oh, they got me. And being very sensible, I threw my poles.
Right.
But the story was that I had no poles. So Suzanne was with me. She said, I didn't worry me, I'll go and get it. Of course, I got hurt.
Oh, no.
So she came back. I wasn't going home with my bowls. I said, let's check the boot. I had a raincoat. I had a beanie. We had sunglasses. This is in the middle of the sun. We had gloves. We put everything on, and would you believe they didn't come near us?
Right. They probably figured they'd already had their serve, or maybe they wouldn't going to get through the armour plating. Now, my question is, how far from the car was this?
This was only probably a couple of 100 metres because it was just on a little bit down the first loop.
Yeah, right. Okay. Which, for those that aren't familiar with Trailblazer, is only a few hundred metres away. So that makes sense. Yeah, I just had visions of you traipsing kilometres, carrying your rain jacket and your beanie and your gloves and getting there and getting your poles, and then, the wasps going.
We went around the other way, though. We thought if we come from the opposite direction, we'd scare them.
Yeah, right.
So we did the loop from the other way, so it was nearly a kilometre.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, I've never come across fake wasps there, and now I've said that, I'm going to get stung tomorrow. You can guarantee it.
I remember if we went up with at night time and sprayed them, because it's the only time to get them. Yeah, I know I did put warnings out.
Yeah.
But someone got them.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
What has been one of your most, well, we use the word here proudest, but, one of your most favourite memories, not necessarily of just Trailblazer, but just getting out there and being a bit of a runner and a hiker and a bit of a trailblazer?
Look at finish line. That's wonderful. It's like winning the lottery. When you get to that finish line, yeah, you've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's always fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good finish line. I will give you that.
Yeah.
What I think is a bit cruel about the race is you get very close to the finish line and then we spear you off.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping you can't do that this year.
And you do some of the toughest terrain in that last kilometre to get to the finish line.
Yes.
Just to make it sweeter. Yes. We haven't quite finalised that last kilometre of the course yet because there is that work on the skywalk that's happening. So, yet to be advised. Like a lot of things in trail running, it's a bit dynamic.
Yes.
Well,
we have sort of been down from both ends, not illegally, just to see where
they're up to.
Yes. And I have a feeling they're using pig tape too.
They might be.
Which is really annoying because we were trying to work out where we were going to go.
Well, so we have a cunning plan. I actually have some bunting flags. We might create a bit of a tunnel of love. So we do have a plan B, C, and D. So don't worry. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not the only people that use pink.
That's
those pesky surveyors like to use their pink.
I do too. That was annoying.
Yeah. Copycats, a lot of them. So let's flip that on its head. What has been one of the toughest moments when you've been out on a trail? It's been one of the hardest, so you have to really pull your bootstraps up and overcome something.
Okay. This is another practice. 8 weeks in 2023, I was going down the steep bit, the loop.
Yes.
I wasn't even walking. I put my poles down and there was a slip. Must have been something slippery. And I went.
Yep.
Broke my tibia and fibula. So I thought, this is a stupid thing. No one can get you. So I got poles, walked back up. Beat Colin. I said, I've broken my leg. I'm driving home. Be ready to bring me back to hospital.
Now, Colin's your husband, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that happened. And then we got in there and I sat from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock before they even looked at it. Here I am trying to hold up a broken leg.
Do you mind if I tell a bit of an anecdote to that story? Is that all right?
Oh.
We can always edit out if you're not comfortable. So I remember when you came to see me after that, and one of my favourite memories is you looked at me and you said, Warren, they treated me like I was a little old lady. And you would have been, about 75 then or something?
Yeah. You're going to say that I still thought I could walk in Trailblazer.
Yes. Well, because when did you do that? Was that the January or something?
That was the 4th of February.
4th of February, right. And we had the race in early April. So it was basically 2 months prior.
Yeah.
And we were telling you, look, it's going to take at least 6 weeks for the bone to mend. And then, so you did actually miss the Trailblazer that year.
Yeah.
Under medical advice. And the medical advice was from the race director himself saying, don't do it. I talk a lot of people out of doing the Trailblazer, actually. Yeah, well, I'm basically a lazy person. And I don't have to carry somebody back.
And I think I really make sure I can do the distance every year.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I don't care how slow I am, because I know there's Vince and his mates out there doing 60, so I'll at least beat them home.
Yeah.
So I just do it at my pace. But if I didn't think I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's right. So you actually volunteered for us that year, and we really enjoyed your help. You sparked up the finish line no end. It was good fun. Yeah. Now we're going to get talking. You said you've learned a lot of things. I think we should chat a bit about some of the gear you use. And I thought we might start at the bottom. So, what shoes are you currently racing or training in?
I'm using Asics hiking shoes.
Right.
And I've got the forbidden spot.
Yep, fantastic. Our race sponsor. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yep, very good.
And I always wear good woolen socks.
Yep.
And my favourite ones are worn out, which is a real nuisance because the others aren't quite as good.
Oh, what are those?
They're still woolen, but they're new. They're
Okay.
not like my favourite old ones.
What brand were your favourite on?
Yeah, no, I just know they were cost a mint and they were nice woolen socks.
One of sidebar conversation here. Have you ever heard of Pat Farmer?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So Pat Farmer runs in smart wool socks. We're not sponsored, by the way, Smart Wool, but if you want to chip in, we're more than happy to take your money. But he ran from North Pole to South Pole in smart wool socks. And
These might be smart wool.
they might be, yeah. They look. That's why I asked, because that weave looks a bit like them. You'd have to take your shoe off because they'd be written on the sock. But anyway,
Thin smart wool.
there we go. But yeah, no, the Asics are really making a big push into the trail hiking, walking, running kind of phase at the moment. So yeah, they look the goods. Now, do you have a favourite race shirt? Do you have a shirt you like to wear when you race?
Well, I usually wear this one.
Oh, okay. Very good.
But,
Nice and high vis. We can always find you in that.
well, I always tell my family West Pat can find me.
Yep, absolutely.
No, but lately I've been walking in a normal old T-shirt with a collar, and it's a T-shirt that breathes.
Right.
Yeah. And some of the ones you're buying sporting ones, and they're just 100% synthetic, and they're not allowing any air in at all.
No, that's fair enough. And I like the idea of the collar. It kind of keeps a bit of sun off the back of your neck, doesn't it?
It does.
Because you have a favourite hat that you like to wear as well.
Yes.
Did you bring your hat?
Yes, I did bring my hat.
This is, by the way, people, this is a very rare moment to see the legendary hat.
Now, there is a reason why I wear this is a red hat. It used to be red. It used to be an old school hat, but it's 100% cotton.
Right.
It fits beautifully.
Right.
It doesn't blow off. And at each water stop, I can fill it up with water.
Right.
Now, but if it's a cold day, I'll wear a cap. It's never a cold day.
Not a Trailblazer, no. No.
My family I'm sure they discarded it if they knew where it was.
Do we know what school it came from?
Yes.
Which school?
Dungowan.
Dungowan.
Yep.
Okay. Which is one of our local schools in the area, basically. Yes.
It is. It's on the way to Wollongong.
Yeah. Lovely little school.
They changed that's something more modern. So,
Dungowan hat. Did you have children?
Yes, I worked in the office at Dungowan.
Oh, did you read? Oh, there we go.
And I was a Catingle, librarian in Catingle.
Right, yeah. And for those that aren't familiar with Tamworth, those are two little villages just outside of Tamworth, basically.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Lovely places. Got a great name too, those schools.
Oh, they do.
Mm. So they're the famous hat. Okay, so we've done done the shirt, done the famous hat, done the shoes, done the socks. What do you wear on the bottom half? Have you got any particular tights or shorts or?
Well, these are probably the best for hot weather because they're a bit thinner.
Right.
And yeah, I just find these comfortable.
Okay. Do they have any pockets on them or anything?
No, but I've got modern ones with pockets. They're a bit thicker, and the pockets are helpful.
Right. But they might overheat a bit more in them.
Yeah, that's the problem. And I'm bad in heat.
Yeah, right. Okay. Very, very good. Now, one thing that you haven't talked about with gear is your poles, your very famous poles that you saved from the paper wasps.
Yes.
And I never see you without your poles.
We did last week.
Oh, did you?
Did a lot without the poles.
There you go. So there's your poles.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about them. Well, later on we'll have a chat about your fitting with the poles. But yeah, so Are these newish poles?
No,
No, you've had these for a while?
yes.
Okay. And you find them, they're pretty handy, aren't they? They're sort of lifesavers, aren't they?
I find them very, very good. They do slow you down a bit, but I just find them very good. No, I don't want to get too used to them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do some without them. I do parts without them.
Yeah, and look, if ever you do a backyard ultra, I'm fairly certain poles are banned in most of the backyard ultras I've done. So it's good to get used to not using the poles, but they're great for balance. And some of the slipperier sections down Herkins Hill, that particularly 21% grade bit, I find that they're a bit of a lifesaver, they are.
They are, but I've got that bit conquered now.
Oh.
It's the other side I don't like.
Oh.
That steep little bit.
Oh, yes.
I don't like it.
Yes, heading down towards the gully, yes. Well, that's actually had a bit of erosion, so that's a little bit sketchy. It's quite narrow.
It is.
It is. So be careful there. I don't have to carry you home. So speaking of different parts of the trail, have you got a particular place or area that you like to train? It's like your happy place.
Well, I actually, the only places I don't like too much are that little bit we just spoke about.
Right.
But if I don't like something, I'll go back and redo it until I like it.
Until you conquer it.
Yes, and that's why I like going down Haskins now, because I do it all the time.
All right. So despite places that you've conquered, do you have any other particular places that you kind of like or look forward to going on?
I actually like the river.
Okay.
And last week I saw deer, kangaroo, and of course the goats. I saw the three of them.
You saw the three of them?
Down Herkins.
Oh, really? Yeah, actually, I was up the river gully on the weekend, and I saw the goats. Yeah. And they were very bold. Like they normally they're quite skittish and they stay far away, but they were not afraid of me at all. I mean, they moved on.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so besides training up and down Flaggy, do you have any other kind of strength training or mobility work or conditioning you do off the trail?
Yeah. Well, I do now. When I first started, no one could have been greener than I was. I just walk.
And for reference, you were starting all this in your 70s, right? Or late 60s?
Yeah, late 60s.
Late 60s, okay. So you're green in your late 60s. Yeah. So it just goes to prove people you can start any time.
That's true.
And there's one lesson we learned from this chat tonight, is you can start any time. Yeah. There's no excuses.
No. And not many people are as green or naive as I am. But then somewhere along the line, because I had to do breathing exercises and chest exercises, I thought, the legs up.
Yep.
So I do step-ups.
Oh, good.
And remember when I broke my leg, you gave me exercises with bands?
Absolutely.
I still do those.
Oh, fantastic. Very good.
And jump up and down and anything I can think of.
Yeah, great.
And now I've got a little old mini tramp. I use it.
Now, let's go back to your fractured tibia and fibula.
Yeah.
All right. What was the most frustrating part about that recovery for you?
Well, I obviously thought they'd be putting plaster and I'd be walking around.
Right. And what happened? That didn't happen, did it? No, what happened?
Went back to the hospital. I said, what do I do? They said, wiggle your toes for 6 weeks. I thought, can't do that. So I came and saw you, and you gave me heaps and heaps of exercises, but I already knew I had to exercise my lungs.
Yeah.
So I did everything. And only perhaps if you said do it twice, perhaps I did it 4 times.
Yeah. We did factor that into your persona.
Yes.
Yeah, I expected you to double everything or triple it.
Yeah. And, well, quicker than expected.
You did very well.
So I was quite happy. But the funny thing, it wasn't funny. When I had a boot on after the main thing, and you took it off and you said, walk. I looked down and I thought, come. But I did.
There was a bit of a shock there, wasn't there?
It's a shock.
Yeah, it was a shock. But yeah, no, you did well. So besides doing a lot of our exercises, what else did you do to stop yourself from going, stir crazy?
Well, I like competitions. If there's a competition on the radio, I'm going to ring up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I like Quirtle and the maths one. Sudoku. I do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good TV person.
Right.
I am for some. Just did things.
Yeah, fantastic.
Found a few mystery books to read and
Yep, got on with it.
and thought, oh yes.
Excellent. Now, since that injury, you said you've kept up the band exercises and have you changed anything else about how you get out on the trail or in your training in general?
Well, I found it building up my thighs and buttocks, etc. It makes it much easier.
Yeah, right.
I'm probably never going to get any faster, but it's certainly easier.
Right. And cover the distance better.
Easily. It was never the distance, it was a badly prepared person. Not through neglect, through not knowing.
Yeah. Again, that green knife thing coming back through, eh?
See, the first time I think you said maybe 1.5 litres of water. I took 3.
Oh my goodness.
I took
I did not know that. Wow.
two snake bandages.
Yeah.
Then I threw in a triangular bandage just in case. I got a Band-Aid. And I even took a face washer to wipe the sweat.
Yeah.
And as well as a backpack, I had a bum bag.
Yeah.
One good thing I do think is I always make sure my phone's where I can grab it.
Yeah.
I never put it in the back of the backpack.
No.
I always put it in the front.
Yeah.
In case there's an emergency.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just cut everyone on the trail run. They are just so friendly.
Yeah, it's a good bunch of humans. Trail runners tend to be a friendly bunch of people by and large. Yeah. So no, you're right. It is a lot of fun. Is there other races that you've done?
I do Javel each year.
For those that don't know, the Javel Dam Buster is up in Armidale. It's one of our sister cities. It's only about an hour and a half north of Tamworth. What is it about Javel that you like?
It's
We might have to edit that out for Armidale. Man, I'd appreciate that. No. It is certainly, it's not as technical and it's not as steep. It's definitely a more achievable trail run for sure. Absolutely, yeah.
But the organisers up there, they're just as friendly.
They're lovely.
They are lovely people.
Yeah. If I only had one criticism of Javel, I could do with a few more signs and a few more places, but we'll leave that well alone. But no, they're a lovely bunch. And in fact, before they started their race up, they came down Trailblazer and they all had a go at Trailblazer because we kicked off in early 2018, I think.
And it was 2018.
Yeah, and then they ran their first race. I think it was either later that year, I think it was, possibly the year after. But they used our race as a bit of a test case. And they've gone on from strength to strength. They get really good numbers. Yeah. And a lot of the university students love their race. So we'll give them a shout out too. If you want to do a nice, achievable trail race that's usually not too hot, it can get occasionally warm up in Armidale, but most of the time it's been pretty good. Javel Dam Buster. And I think last year it was in December. They delayed it quite a bit.
They did because
it's September.
Yes, because of snow. Too many trees fell down on the big
snow. They had to clear the trail.
Couldn't turn it up. And another advantage of Javel is I think a lot of people just do it. They aren't real athletes like me. Sure. So therefore I'm not always at I've been at the end.
No.
I'm at least head of 10 people.
I love it. So that's great. Okay, so we've got Trailblazer coming up.
Yes.
I noticed you've entered. Well done.
Yes.
Any other races this year besides Javel that you might look at as well, just for some fun?
Well, I thought about it, but I do enjoy them, so perhaps I will look. Because apparently there's one at Gunnedah or somewhere, but
yeah. Well, there's the Gunnedah Gallop, but that's a road run.
No, that's no good.
No. But there are races down. Newcastle's got the Fernley track, which is, I think it's about 16 k's from me. And then Rafferty's run, that's around the lake. It's not, I don't think it's really a trail run, but it's around Lake Macquarie, which is kind of cute, So
see, that's the beauty of Trailblazer, because, well, I suppose the real people can run. You can't run as fast, so you're not using all your oxygen.
Correct.
So I can Like a few quick steps, then you're going down, up and down, up and down. So that's why I really like it for that reason.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that, but the difficulties you've had with breathing over the years, it actually is an advantage. Well, not an advantage, but it's more forgiving race for that kind of a thing, as opposed to a constant flattish course where you might struggle with breathing after a while.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I reckon there's a PhD in there for somebody if they wanted to have a go. Just putting that out there.
It's because I breathe better at Tenwire. Because Armadale, you know how silly people think, oh, well, I can run here.
Yeah.
And you know you shouldn't.
Yes. Yeah. Look, one of my very first trail runs was the 6-foot track. And and I got to the bottom of the main hill. I can't think of its name now, but it's really, really long. And I was quite a young, arrogant running human. And I was there with an older bloke, and I said to him, "See you later, sucker." And I took off up this hill. And it's about 7 or 8 Ks or something stupid. And of course, I burnt my legs out completely by the time I got to the top. And you get to the top of this hill and it's dead flat, and I couldn't run. I was walking, my legs were, absolutely blown. And a few minutes later, here comes this old bloke. He'd walked up the hill, and then on the flat bit, of course, he went flying past me. He's like, "See you, sucker." Well, I went, "Oh, thanks a lot." I learned a big lesson that day. Be careful don't run up too many hills, because you will pay the price.
So did you go? We went up the 6-foot track the river upwards rather than down.
This was back in the day when you ran from Katoomba actually to the Jenolan Caves.
No, we went the opposite.
Yeah, that's actually tougher, I would say.
Yes,
Yeah. You're going uphill.
You're going uphill.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's tough.
And I liked it anyway.
It's a beautiful run. I've done it in more recent years, but they've got the new finish now where it's just sort of in some random park or paddock. I think the road to Jenolan Caves has been compromised or something. So there's some long-term roadworks there. And it wasn't, look, the organisers are great. They've done a good job, but it didn't have quite the same pizzazz because I remember going to Jenolan Caves and it was quite steep, and you could look like a runner because you could just let the downhill take you and you could just kind of roll down, and you knew you didn't have to worry about saving the legs because you only had like a K to go. So you looked like an absolute superstar over the finish line. Yeah. Okay. So what are some of the big running tips you wish you'd known back when you were a greenhorn?
Okay. I wish I'd known the strength of my muscles, leg muscles, thigh, buttocks, all those things. I wish I'd have known more about nutrition, because I thought, well, we eat a healthy diet, which we do. I thought that was sufficient. But my I did make sure I had jelly beans with glucose, but I needed salt.
Yes, big time.
Big time, because I perspire a lot. Yeah, so I need a lot of salt.
Yeah.
Make sure, or be pretty sure you can go the distance.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long you take.
Yeah.
Just be sure. And don't be like me and take 3 times as much as what you're meant to.
I have had people sometimes rock up to the race with no water containers at all, which of course is a disqualification. But there was one couple a few years back. I realised, because they do the 1K. Anyway, I managed to catch up to them with a 600 ml bottle of water each, and I said, "Look, you guys better take this, or else you're going to get into all sorts of strife." They just thought it was going to be a stroll through the bush, so a little bit ill prepared.
They were, and I can remember you doing that. But I even see people walking up Flagstaff, young kids.
Yeah. Well, actually, on Sunday, I was marking some of the course, and I came across a guy. Look, he had a hat, he had sunnies, and he had sunscreen, so he was sun safe, which was brilliant. But it was, I don't know, what was it, 34 degrees or something on Sunday, and he was halfway up, and he was looking a bit seedy already. I had a spare water bottle on me. I normally always carry a spare. So I gave him that one and said, "Look, if you want to get to the top of Flagstaff, you better make sure you take this with you," because he was looking a bit seedy already. Yeah. But anyway, he came back down, which was good. All right. So when you've got your Trailblazer medal. Could you hold that up and show everybody? Okay. So there's her Trailblazer medal. I think if we go.
That's the very first one.
Yep. So 2018.
Yes.
Inaugural runner. Well done.
Yes.
And that some people think it's a shield. But it's actually the tip of the spear, which is a saying from the sort of like the special forces. Actually, is that you're the tip of the spear. What was What surprised you most about that first year when you did Trailblazer? What did you not see coming for you?
Well, I should have seen this coming. I drank something the night before that obviously I shouldn't have. It wasn't alcohol.
Or so she says, everybody. Yeah.
So drinking soda water and more soda water, and I was getting sicker and sicker all night. Apparently, it was the additive in the soda water.
Oh.
That's probably why I took so much fluid, because I knew I could finish, but I'd have to keep rehydrating myself.
Right.
And that's why I was slower than I anticipated, because I had done the whole track in about a bit less than 4 hours, and I took over 5 hours, I think. I finished.
You did a cracking job.
And I'm always going to finish.
Well, one of the things that you might have suffered slightly from is a condition we call hyponatremia, where you actually almost take on too much fluids and you sort of dilute your blood a bit, you know? I don't know. I mean, you finished and you got through it, so no harm, no foul. We're not going to worry about that. But that's why the salt and other things that you take now are so important when you're on the trail.
There's a sad story about salt if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go on.
Doing practice. When I realised I had to have salt, I thought, fix this. Have a teaspoon of salt in a cup of water before I piff. I know very well what that does to you because I've done so many times. I'm getting about 2 kilometres and I'm sick and sick and sick. Rehydrate myself. Going.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, at least you got all the mistakes out of the way in the first race, didn't you? You know, you did well. All right. What was the thing you enjoyed most about that first Trailblazer run?
Well, I think it's achieving something. It was a challenge and finishing it.
Yeah.
And I do recover fairly quickly. I'm usually able to stay there and see some of the 30s, and I recover quite well. And I think, well, that's perhaps because I don't work hard enough when I'm out there.
I've seen you move. You work hard enough, young lady. You do all right.
I just enjoy the whole experience. What I find, the amount of preparation that you and your helpers must do, it's unbelievable.
It's actually Abby. I just
one of those.
Yeah. Abby's one of them. I just make it look good, or possibly bad. All righty. And then on the course, what do you find the most challenging thing now? Now you're an experienced trail runner and you've done it a few times. What do you find the most challenging part of Trailblazer for you?
Just that little bit going down.
That narrow bit of the course that's a bit technical and sketchy. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Probably conquered that bit yet. I know some people said on the last little bit they go down on their bottom. I thought, I'll go work out which is a better way, quick way to get down.
Yeah, not on your face is what I tell everybody. All right.
Yeah,
your butt's better than face.
Yes.
All right. So, who do you think the Trailblazer race suits?
Obviously, it suits real athletes, and it suits anyone who is prepared to work hard, give it a go. And I don't think, age obviously makes a bit of a difference, but it doesn't really.
You do all right.
Because you can still finish. And you've got to work hard. I have to work hard.
Everybody has to work hard, trust me. Nobody gets over that finish line and says, well, that was a piece of cake. You know, the feedback from everybody is, and most of it we probably can't put on YouTube, but most of the feedback is, why would you make us do that?
That makes me feel better.
In fact, there's at least 2 athletes that I can think of that have gone on to do the UTMB in France, which is like the World Championships for trail running. And both of them said to me that Trailblazer was one of the better races for their preparation in terms of how steep and technical it was. I do recall the last lady that won the 60, was it Claire, I think, from memory? And she got over the finish line and I gave her obligatory can of Coke and she had 5 of her 6 children standing around her. And she just glared at me as she was sitting in the chair going, I hate you so much. And her 5 children went from relief that their mum had survived to glaring at me. I took a step back. I felt that my life was in danger.
Yeah.
So nobody finds it easy, trust me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we've already covered this, I guess. But in terms of somebody doing it for the first time, what are some of the key ingredients to survive this race for the first time?
Enjoy it.
Yep, good.
Try hard. Really go your best. Go your hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what your hardest is, but do it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. And just make sure you've got sunscreen and a hat, those things. It's worthwhile.
Mm. It's funny, a lot of people get a bit surprised with how hilly it is because they drive through Tamworth, and Tamworth itself, when you're just driving on the highway and so forth, seems to be a relatively flat town. But we do surprise them. And, shout out to Tim and Vanessa Hercombe for letting us use their property.
Oh, yes.
Because that really makes Hercombe's Hill. Or as one of our runners to describe it as Hercombe's Horror Hill.
I like that. Well, after I finished one year, this guy from Sydney came over to me and he said, that's worse than a trail walk. That's more like a sky walk. I don't even know what a sky walk is. Apparently it's harder than a trailblazer.
Yeah, so a skywalk or sky run.
Sky run.
Yeah, it's where they go along the very top edge of a mountain range. And if you look at it on like YouTube and so forth, you'll see these amazing, shots where they're running on something that's sometimes less than a meter wide. And there's, a 500-foot drop off either side. They're right on the top of, whether it be the French Alps or something like that. And they're known as sky runs, and they are not for the faint-hearted. I've done one in Norway, unofficially in Tromsø, and it was interesting. Yes, I don't think my life insurance would have covered me for that.
Oh, it's pleased to know that so far you haven't had any injuries.
Don't you jinx us.
No.
Don't jinx us. We did have somebody who used their face as a brake, I think, last year. And we've had quite a few people use their knees and their backsides as brakes. So we've had a few grazes and contusions, and I think we've had a few sprained ankles, which is why we make sure we've got, first aiders at the start-finish line and all that sort of jazz. But, so far, touching, I think it's laminate, not wood, but anyway, we've been pretty well so far. Well, look, it's been fantastic to chat to you. Do you have anything else you'd like to add before we finish up today?
Just thank you and Abby and everyone else, because I know there's a terrible lot of preparation. And for making it here for us people in Canada and others.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much, Maureen, for being trial.
Before we wrap up, Maureen, I was looking at all of your race stats this week. So I was, and seeing, you haven't missed a year. Even the year you were injured, you came and volunteered. But it was interesting to see you go from 2018, took you 5 hours and 8 minutes. You hit the 2021, 2022, and you got down to 3 hours and 40 minutes. And then you haven't ever got back to your 5 hours. So every year, I know you said you think you're getting slower, but you're actually getting quicker.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thanks, Abby. That's brilliant. For those that might have missed it, Abby just rolled through the finishing times for Maureen. And what was it, 5 hours and what for the first one?
5 hours and 8 minutes.
5 hours and 8 minutes. And her quickest has been what? 3 hours?
3 hours 40.
Was that last year?
No, year before.
That was 2021. 2021.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, we got a bit of a time to go now, haven't you? Actually, it's interesting, you mentioned Vince. We've interviewed Vince, and he won the 60K last year.
No, he did.
He did great, didn't he? But it's interesting because every time he's come, he's learnt from the previous race and he's gotten quicker. And sometimes that was just pacing himself better on the course, he said. Sometimes it was changing his nutrition, and sometimes it was training a bit more effectively for Trailblazer. I think that was the sort of the three cornerstones he did, I think. Yeah. So it sounds like you're doing pretty much the same, which is really good.
Not quite. Vince passes me a couple of times. I don't even know how we know one another.
Well, I think you're just both characters of the Trailblazer community.
He's absolutely fantastic.
He's a lovely guy, very giving of his time too.
He's very, very.
And quite a character.
Yes.
If you get a chance, get onto the Trailblazer YouTube channel. We've actually dropped that interview onto the channel, and quite a few people have commented on how much they've learned about Vince and the Trailblazer already.
Yeah, I listened to his interview.
Yeah, did you? Oh,
That was quite good.
yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you, young lady. It's our pleasure.
Thank you, Maureen. It was a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
Make sure you edit all the bad bits out.